Howdy, peeps. Today, we're going to talk about how to change your life with just $2. That's one Washington, two Washington. Join the Journey Radio starts right now.
Welcome to the infusion of positive energy into the lives of single Latter-day Saints everywhere. This is Joy in the Journey Radio.
And welcome back, peeps, to the wonderful, splendiferous, joyous episode of Joy in the Journey Radio. I am Lance, your host for Joy in the Journey Radio, and this is episode number 375. Change your life with $2. If you're joining us here live for the program today, you'll hop in the chat. Tell us where you're from. If you're watching the program after the fact, then, please, scroll down to the comment section and leave a comment. Tell us where you're from, because that's going to help us with the algorithms. All right, so what if I told you you can change your life for just $2, right? Now, I know some of you are just like, yeah, that's clickbait. I guarantee you it's not clickbait. One of the things that I'm adamantly opposed to, in spreading the word about Join the Journey Radio is, all of these sort of sleazy marketing tactics. I think clickbait is a sleazy marketing tactic. Okay? I've always believed in authenticity and transparency, and I always will. That's not changing, right? So when I say you can change your life with $2, that's not some kind of, ploy to get you to, click on my video or join the program and improve, some stat, for whatever platform it is that you're viewing me with. Nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that at all. Okay. You really can't change your life for $2. Now, when I say $2, $2, some of you 80s children out there are thinking about the classic movie Better Off Dead. If you've never heard of this film, let alone seen it, let's take a moment to give you the beginnings of a true education. The joke around $2 comes from a paper boy in this movie, right? Who's super dedicated in getting payment for the papers he's delivered, right? So, I have here some scenes that I put together from the film, show you the dedication of this paper boy. And the film is a comedy. So it's not meant to be serious. It's meant to be funny. And it turns out that I think it's hilarious. But I'm an 80s child, so what do you expect? Right? So the sequences are in the order they appear in the film, but it's not like a segment of the film in that one scene doesn't necessarily follow the other, right? This paperboy keeps popping up at different points throughout the movie. So basically, the clip I'm going to show you takes those different scenes and puts them together into one clip. So here we go. Better Off.
Johnny.
4 weeks. 20 papers, that's $2 plus tip.
Gee, Johnny, I don't have a dime. Sorry.
Didn't ask for a dime. $2.
Well, it's funny. See, my mom had to leave early to take my brother to school and my dad to work because...
$2. Cash.
See, the problem here is that my little brother this morning got his arm caught in the microwave and my grandmother dropped acid and she freaked out and hijacked a school bus full of penguins. So it's kind of a family crisis, so come back later. Great.
$2.
Hi, Lane.
Huh?
How was your date?
They're out there, Dad. They're after me. This is as bad as we'll ever get.
I want my $2!
What now? Get out of here. Get lost. Get out of here. Take a hike, rat.
$2.
Oh, man, I love the 80s. There's no decade like it. I mean, and seriously, if you've not seen this movie, you are so ignorant, so uneducated. You've got to get your education. Go get a copy of this movie. Oh my God, you can probably find it online for $2. Yes, and they don't want my $2. That's the joke on people who see this movie. Of course, it's classic early John Cusack. These scenes with the paperboy. I mean, there's a lot of other funny parts of the movie too. I don't want to spoil it for you. I won't. I won't. I won't give you any more with it. I'll let you go watch it. Oh my gosh, so hilarious. I can't even stop laughing about it. Yeah. So yes, back to the program here. So $2, right? What if I told you that I could change your life with just $2, right? Now, I'm not talking about delivering papers, although in a way I am talking about paper. You see, $2 is what I spent to buy this notebook right here. Actually, this notebook cost me 99 cents, so I spent $2 to buy two of them, right? And I use this notebook to chart my course and to help me, keep me on course. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let me explain, right? So, probably, I don't know if you can actually see this, but it's like, you know, each week I write down, um, well, that's not a good day. So I start the week out usually on Sunday night, right? So I'm gonna, here's a good one right here, right? So I start here, spend the top half of the page writing down my mission, vision statement, right? And then below that, I write my goals for the week, right? So this takes up a whole sheet of paper. Top half for the mission, vision statement, and then the bottom half for the goals for the week. Then the next day, right? So you flip the page, Next day, right, I get up in the morning and I write those goals that I have for the week up at the top of the sheet, right? And then I go off and do work on working on those goals, right? So that at night, okay, that night I'll come back and I'll spend the bottom half rewriting the goals, and then I'll put over here in the margin, I'll put like a little number to help me quantify how much of the goal did I actually meet, right? So this helps me keep grounded in an awareness of where I am. It's sort of like a running dashboard, so to speak, right? So then the next morning I get up, right, and I repeat the process. Write down my goals for the week in the morning, and then I transfer those numbers from the previous night over here on the side, right? So it helps me to know at the start of the day, where am I at with my goals? Like how much of each of these goals have I actually accomplished, right? Then, I'll do my work during the day. Later at night, at the end of the day, I come back, return and report. Okay? Return and report. So I'll come back, rewrite the goals here down at the bottom of the page, and then I'll update the numbers here, right? Then the next morning, get up, do it all over again, right? And I just keep going through that day by day. And then at the end of the week, I'll basically use uh, 2 pages, right? So one page is to give me the report, the daily report, like it's any other day of the week. But then I'll use a second page to go back and start over the new week. So I'll actually flip over here. Where did it come? Gosh, where did it go? I shouldn't have to. Yeah, right here. It's right. So I'll actually go back and rewrite my mission vision statement, and then or vision mission statement. I haven't decided which way to call it yet, but I call it both. I'll explain that in a minute. So then I write the new goals for the new week and just repeat the process over again, right? So again, this helps keep me grounded, helps me more than anything, it helps me to see opportunities to get closer to my goals that I wasn't seeing before, right? This seems like such a simple practice, but honestly, if you do it consistently, it can help you turn things around in your life because your life is largely what you make of it, right? So if you don't take action and do the work, then you're not going to have much of a life. Now, many people like to sit and blame other people and the choices that they make for how their lives have resulted. And we've discussed many times here on this program, don't be a victor. I mean, don't be a victim, be a victor, right? The choices other people make do influence our lives, but they're not completely determinative. That determinative power lies within each one of us as we choose for ourselves how we think and how we act. Now, along the way, I've been experimenting. In fact, in this very notebook, I've been experimenting with a different process where I just forget the goals altogether, and I write down my mission vision statement. So I basically focus in on that. So here's a section of the notebook where I'm actually doing that. So in the morning, I'll get up and I'll write my mission vision statement, and then at night, I'll come back and do the same thing, right? And the thing I like about that procedure is, it keeps me more aware of um, what my mission vision statement is, the direction I want to go in life. Helps me become more aware of opportunities to confirm the identities that I proclaim in my mission vision statement. But it doesn't really help me move in that direction as much as writing down my goals every morning and night do. So now the reason why I call it a mission vision statement, right? I'm different because some people have mission statements, some people have vision statements. Some people say that a mission statement and a vision statement are really two names for the same thing. Other people say no, there's a difference. The one is an overall description of the destination you want to get to, and the other is how you're going to get or arrive at that destination. My statement does both of those, so I call it a mission vision statement. But like I said, it doesn't really. My experience with it is that it doesn't really help me move closer to my. Ooh, I got a little piece of notebook paper here. I get rid of that. So, um, it doesn't really help me so much move towards my goals and dreams because out of sight, out of mind. So um, I've gone back to doing the goal thing, and I think that's a much better way to proceed with it. Now, to use this methodology, you don't have to do this in a paper notebook, right? You can go digital if you want. I mean, this is the 21st century, but there's just something about writing down the words on paper, something about the physical process of shaping out the letters one by one to form the words that somehow gets it more firmly into the brain. I don't completely understand it, but um, I think that actually helps keep your goals more in mind during the day when you're actually writing them out every morning. Now, of course, whichever route you take with this method I'm describing to you, whether you want to go paper notebook like I do, I'm old school, so I love the paper, or if you want to, join and stay in the 21st century and keep everything digital. I mean, whichever route you take, okay, the key part of making this process work and helping you achieve your goals and dreams and changing your life because you've achieved your goals and dreams, uh, you need to take action, right? If there's no action, then none of this is going to do any very much for you, right? Nothing in your life will change until you change yourself, and that means taking action, right? But you can't just take any action, right? I'm sure we're all familiar with the saying that's been attributed to Einstein: doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity, right? So if you want a different result, you got to do something different in order to get a different result. If you want a particular result, then you've got to take particular action that will lead to that particular result in order to get that. So using a notebook to write down your goals every morning and night is, I believe, one such action that helps you get closer to your goals and dreams, right? Keeping those goals more in mind throughout your day, you're more likely to see opportunities to move closer to your goals and dreams and to take them when they appear. And that has been my experience as I've actually run through this process. So, here on Join the Journey Radio, we're all about helping Latter-day Saint singles thrive in their single years, and I think this is one thing that I think can help us to thrive. So if you're feeling lost and aimless, man, get a goal. Get some goals and start working on them. That'll give you direction, and you don't have to worry about the goals being right for you to start out. You don't have to understand everything. You have to see the end from the beginning. You just need to mark out a direction, plot a course, start moving out, start doing the work, and you'll figure out whether the goal is right for you when you're en route. Right? It'll become clear. Now, speaking of clear, James Clear, the author of the classic book Atomic Habits, he writes in his book that you don't rise to the level of your goals, rather you fall to the level of your systems. Right? Having a simple notebook like this that you use to write down your goals every morning and every night is a system for staying on track and making progress. So if you don't have something to keep you on track, then you're not gonna rise to the level of your aspirations. You're gonna fall to the level of your habits, and that's totally true. Right? I know I've seen that in my life. So you know, make sure the system that you have is something that'll help support you get to where you want to actually be, achieving your goals and dreams. Now, some people, when they hear about this system that I have, they ask the question, how many goals should you have in order to use this system? My recommendation is one weekly goal for each area of your life. Many people would make categories for their career, their finances, their health, their relationships, and so forth. Um, you know, I actually don't do it that way. I actually look at different identities that I play throughout the week, and I make a separate goal for each separate identity. I think there's one right way to do this, though. I mean, if you're not sure which way to proceed, I recommend being open to experimentation. Just try different things and see what works for you. Like I said, I like to define, different identities that I play during the week, and then make a separate goal for each individual identity. So, for example, there are times when I'm a content creator, like right now, as I'm making this video. So I have a goal for content creation, right? And then there's times when I'm playing a different role, the role of an academic researcher, for example, because that's part of being a PhD student. So then I have a goal connected with that identity. And so it goes for the rest, right? So that has worked very well for me. But you should do what works well for you. If you think it would be better to, divide your life up into different areas of responsibility, um, hey, I don't, like I said, I don't think there's one right way to do it. Find the way that works best for you. What I like best about, this system that I have with the notebook is that, um, I'm taking the numbers from the night before and carrying them over to the next morning, right? This is like a running dashboard that lets me know what portion or fraction of each goal I've completed to date. And it gives me an idea of where I am with accomplishing my goals and how much more needs to be done to complete them. I, I think this is a very effective feature of the system, maybe the most effective feature of the whole system, to be honest. Um, I will issue one word of caution, though. Actually, several, since what I have to say can't be said with just a single word. um, in order for you to like really feel like this is going to benefit you, you have to practice it every day for at least a couple weeks. It takes that long in order for you to see some real effects from it. And the reason is that, I get this notebook out and let's say I'm just writing down, well, that's actually a page with my, I was experimenting with, uh, I was experimenting with, okay, so here we go. So, um, well, no, actually, I'm going to go back. So that's not, I'm still experimenting there. I experimented quite a bit. Much longer than I thought I was going to do it. Um, I don't know why I'm doing this because I don't think you can see it. Yeah, so anyway, like say right here, right? So, um, for a single day, you're just going to use a single page, right? So if you're just looking at one day, you'll start the morning by writing out your goals, carrying over the numbers from the night before. Later that night, you come back to the page, fill out the bottom half with writing the same goals for the week, and then updating the numbers from up here down here, right? And if you're looking at just one day, you're not going to see very much. Honestly, you're not going to see very much. And if you just keep your focus on a single day, it's easy to get depressed and sidetracked and think that this is more work than it's worth. You got to stick with it though, right? You need to just do it every day for a couple weeks before you start seeing some real results with it, because you need the accumulation of each of the small contributions from each individual day. You need those small little wins every little day to build and accumulate into something that's actually more noticeable, right? So um, that's what I would recommend. Just stick with it for a couple weeks because it's going to take you that long before you actually see some actual real results from it. So that's what I got. Change your life with just $2. Go out and buy you a notebook and use it to write, make your goals to keep you on track. And every day, start and end your day by writing out your goals for the week. And just keep with it, and you'll be amazed at what this can actually do for you. Then again, if it doesn't actually do anything for you, then I'm sorry. I'm trying to help. I am trying to help. I want I want Latter-day Saint singles to thrive in their single years. And I don't see how you're going to thrive if you don't have goals and you're not working on goals. So that's got to be a part of the equation. And this is my system. This is my system for actually making that happen. So if you got a better system that works for you, then hey, go for it, man. Go for it. So yeah, no one in the chat. So we'll go ahead and close this up because that's all I got for you peeps today for this episode of Join the Journey Radio. Thanks to all of you for joining in. If you do have something that you'd like to say about what we've discussed, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you have a topic or question you'd like to see us address, we're happy to help. Just leave a comment down below. If there's something we can do to help you overcome the challenges of LDS singles life, yep, you got it. Leave a comment down below. You could also go to the contact page of our website at jointhejourneyradio.com/contact. Send us a message with the form you find on that page. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our content that you find helpful so that the algorithms will get our content out to help other Latter-day Saint singles out there who need the help. So, again, that's all I got for you. Hopefully this is helpful to you. Until next time, this is your host reminding you there is joy to be had all along your journey. So take that joy and journey on.